to say something about Uncle Billy, what you were talking about, going against the norm and stuff. At work, there's a whole lot of the world, that's how everybody is there, I was at the rescue yesterday, and we were talking about stuff, just cutting up and whatnot, and they ended up asking me, some questions and stuff, and they're like, so, we already know you don't cuss. We already know you don't drink. And then they started talking about tattoos. I was like, I'm not really into that. I told them, they're like, all right, so you don't do drugs, you don't do drinking, you don't cuss, you don't like tattoos. And they started going over all these things that I don't like or don't do and all that stuff and going against the norm, everybody's into that, And one of the guys jokingly leans back in his chair and says, well, I know what your new nickname is. He says, throw squirrel out the window. He says, that's another nickname they have for me, but he said, throw that out the window. He says, your new nickname is Quaker. I said, man, if they only knew how true that was. If they only knew what they were missing, man. They meant it as a joke, but it sure isn't.
Oh, yeah. They're missing so much, and they don't realize it, and they look down on me in a respect of you're missing out on the fun stuff in life and all the stuff that they think is fun, but all they do is complain. Yeah. And all they do is talk about how bad stuff is. Yeah. And they say, I know what I'm doing is not right, but I'm doing it anyway. Yeah. They go through all this stuff, and they talk about how this, that, and the other is fun, but in the same sentence or the same breath, they talk about how bad they feel, and I'm like, come on, dude, you're looking at the answer, it feels good in the moment, but you feel terrible afterwards. There's got to be a correlation here, and they're seeing me live in a different way, I do my best, I cut up with them where I can, and I make jokes and have fun with them, it's a long 24 hours sometimes, but at the same token, though, you still got to hold a standard, and when you do, people notice it. And whether they mean it as a joke or not, they know something's different. Yeah. And I'm just thankful that God's given me strength to not cave to the pressure, because there's a lot of pressure at times, and I'm just thankful that He's given me that strength.